Welcome to Solidworks free workbook, lesson 4. This is part 2, where we're actually going to start creating the part in Solidworks. Go ahead and open Solidworks, and once we open Solidworks, we can come over here and select New. That will bring up this box right here, and you can actually select Part, which again is going to give you an extension of SLDPRT. So just as a reminder, this is the part that we're actually creating. So it's the angled block. Pretty simple geometry, but we're just going to introduce you to a few of the Sketch Command Manager tools. So we're going to go ahead and build this part. Reference the geometry of that particular part. I have Solidworks up on my screen here, and as I just showed you, there's several ways to do this. You can actually go to File, New, or you can go ahead and select this right here and select the down arrow, New, or as it states here, if you hover over the top, it says Control New will create a new document. So there's 3 different ways of actually creating a new document there. I'm going to go ahead and just select that down, select New, brings up the Solidworks document window. This is the solid part. You notice the icon is showing a solid here. Later on we're going to be creating a drawing, but these are separate files. This is going to be an extension SLDRPRT. So you can double click on here, or you can select it and then select OK. Now this brings up a template. This is the default template. If you really want to get customized, you can select the advanced and go into a customized template, but we're going to cover that later. I'm going to go ahead and select OK, and it brings up your Solidworks window here, and you have your Command Manager right here, and we happen to be in the Sketch Command Manager by default. So these are some of the tools that we've talked about. You have your Feature Manager design tree right here, and notice you have your front plane, top plane, right plane, your origin. So basically a history of the part that you're creating. Also a review, you have your 3D triad down here, kind of let you know where your directions are. You have your view panel across here, so you can change the way that the screen looks. You have your task pane over here. You have your status bar down here, and it lets you know that you're editing the part right now. So we're in 3D part mode, and we're by default creating part 1 right now. So let's go ahead and get started. The next step is we actually want to select the sketch tool, and when you select the sketch tool, as you notice, it brings up the 3 primary planes. Basically it's prompting you to select one of these planes. So if you look at the tree here, it actually shows you or prompts you select a plane on which to create the sketch for the entity. Okay, so we only have 3 options. I'm going to go ahead and select the right plane, and notice it rotates it normal to your view and parallel to your screen. A few other things change here in the fact that you have sketch 1 underneath your scroll bar here, and it tells you right up here that you're in sketch 1 of part 1. It shows a 0, point, and your triad also rotates to 2D. You have 2 other icons over here. You have an exit, which will exit without saving, and this will exit your sketch back into the 3D part mode. Also, your status bar shows you right here that you're editing sketch. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that are actually showing you that you're in a different area. But if you don't know to look for that, it's a little bit difficult. Change one more thing in here that'll make it a little bit more obvious that you're in sketch mode. And to do that, I'm going to select this button right here. Notice it brings down your drop-down menu, and or you can also select the Alt key, and it does the same thing. So either way, I need to go to Tools, and clear down at the bottom here, Options. Brings up your System Options General window. And System Options, that changes how Solidworks looks in the system. We want to just change this particular document, the document we just created. So I'm going to select Document Properties, and there's 2 things I want to change. One is Units. I'm going to select Units, And I just wanted to verify it's inch, pound, second, so that's good. If you wanted to go to millimeters, you'd check that, but it looks like we're good here. Next one, I'm going to change grid snap. And notice the grid display is not on, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. And then I want to change it to 5. My minor lines per major is going to be 5. Go ahead and select OK. Notice now we have a grid. So notice my 0, 0 points in the center to start my part at the 0, 0 point, and I want to work in the positive coordinate over in this area. So I want to bring this 0, 0 point down to the bottom left of my screen. Several ways I can do this. One is I can hold down the control key and then press the center or scroll key, and it allows you to pan. But if you want to do that dynamically, if you scroll away, it gets smaller, and then if you place your cursor over here, it'll actually zoom up to where your cursor is. So I'm going to actually scroll key that towards me, and notice it's zooming up, but it's zooming towards the center of this, which is moving my 0, 0 point down to the bottom left. So that just takes a little bit of practice to get used to, but once you get used to it, it is a very powerful and quick tool. So let's see, what else do we have here? We are ready to go ahead and create some geometry here.